for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank all of you for being here. Mr. Chairman, this is such an important hearing. Public safety debate is so very important. It's also very personal for me. I had 2 granddaughters at Camp Mystic, and unfortunately, one of their cousins didn't make it, and Janie Hunt is now in heaven. So this is certainly something that's very important to me and to everyone who was involved at Camp Mystic. We come a long way with wireless emergency alerts, and especially at critical times, but sometimes the system doesn't work like we want it to, and unfortunately that was one of those times. Mr. Gertz, I'm curious, and this was kind of just alluded to by the doctor, but I'm curious as to how we can make sure alert originators are providing the right information in a way our constituents can digest it quickly. In other words, do we need more training programs? Would you agree?
Congressman, yes, absolutely.
You know, one of the things that I've done in my district is, and I represent South Georgia. I represent the coast of Georgia and in South Georgia. We have a lot of hurricanes, and one thing that we try to do every spring before the hurricane season starts is get all the emergency personnel together and start communicating and sharing ideas, making sure everybody knows everybody and that everybody is, because a hurricane doesn't know county boundaries, and every county has got a different public service personnel and groups. So we try to make sure that we're communicating, and certainly making sure that we're training is very important. How can we improve some of these alerts that we have, Mr. Gertz?
Well, Congressman, again, on your personal experience, you know, I know this is an issue personal issue for you. It's also a personal issue for, I think, all of us who want to make sure that wireless emergency alerts get out to the people that need them when they need them. For our part, we deliver the message that alert originators send. They decide where it goes, when it goes, what it says. We have new capabilities. We've included geo-targeting. We enable different features within the devices. We're going to have location-aware mapping capabilities coming out next year. The FCC continues to encourage the industry and push the industry to add new features. Alert originators need to know how to use those features so that they can effectively serve their communities. The work Dr. Sutton is doing in trying to help train alert originators is critical to make sure that they can use those as effectively and maintain WIA as a powerful tool.
What about sending emergency signals with satellite technology? I know in western North Carolina, after Hurricane Helene, that was something that was certainly something that would have been useful.
Congressman, absolutely. We believe our networks are stronger than they've ever been, with billions of dollars we've invested, with redundancy, with all the capabilities to make sure that our cell sites are up and running when they need them. We have 2 challenges to that. That's the availability of power and the availability of fiber backhaul. And that's why we're really excited about satellite technology, because in those situations where it's hard to get the power back on, it's hard to get to those areas to deploy that fiber, if we can rely on satellite technologies to make sure that the public and consumers can reach 911, or they can get wireless emergency alerts, it's going to make them ultimately safer. We're already seeing some examples of that today. You know, hikers in a rural area being able to reach 911, and you know, challenges of the 911 community now having to serve those areas that they didn't have to serve before. So we're working through all these issues, but we're in the early stages. It's a very exciting opportunity, though, to serve the public.
You know, I'm proud to be the co-sponsor of the Mystic Alert Act with Congressman Pfluger, who had daughters at Camp Mystic as well. And it's in honor of Janie Hunt and the other victims of the Camp Mystic flood. This bill, it would direct the FCC to undertake a formal rulemaking to establish technical standards, to establish protocols and operational requirements that allow commercial mobile service providers to deliver emergency alerts via satellite connectivity. If this bill were signed into law, Mr. Gertz, how should the FCC balance flexibility for innovation with the need to uniform national alerting standards?
Congressman, thank you for that question, because, you know, this committee helped to usher in wireless emergency alerts from the beginning and put in a flexible framework to be able to use the technology that we have available. And we settled on cell broadcast technology so that anybody, no matter what service they're subscribed to, can get access to wireless emergency alerts if they have a WIA-capable device. So we think that system works well. We want to make sure that as we're integrating new capabilities, we are able to preserve those capabilities going forward. Happy to work with you and the Congressman on your bill.
Okay, well, and I'm out of time, but I want to ask you real quickly, what kind of timeline is realistic for the FCC to establish something like this?
Congressman, it's a great question and something that I'm sure we're happy to work with you on.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank all of you for everything you're doing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank the gentleman.